Now, as you might have heard in the pack, whether you're listening to the demos or the different song starters, you have some bass lines which are actually not created via the synthesizers. So they sound like they've been made with percussion. Now, I want to show you how to do that. And I also want to continue with the previous video about basically how finding a way to make these samples sound new and fresh when you've been using the pack for a bit too long. So what we'll do is we're just going to grab a new EXS sampler. We're going to put it in we're going to keep it in mono because we're going to make a bass line, and I'm just going to drag in the percussions just like this, and just going to take them off one shot so we have control over the length of the sound. And then yeah, we'll just save it here. Doesn't really matter too much. A little bit of release. Great. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm just going to find, well, that was not very clever. Here we go. I'm just going to find one percussion that I like, and I'm going to just make a rhythm out of it around the kick. I'm going to treat this a little bit like how I would write a bass line. So let's see what sounds we have. I tell you what, that's a good start. Let's maybe just try something kind of random. Extend this a bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, let's try this. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, that just sounds like a bit of percussion and a cool rhythm. Check this out. So I'm going to put it in monophonic. So if the note goes on for too long, when the next note comes in, it will cut it out, like a monophonic ringtone, a monophonic synthesizer. You can only play one note at a time. They won't ever overlap. And I'm going to tune this down to -12 decibels. So the sample is going to become longer, and they're also going to come down an octave in pitch. Check it out. Starting to sound more bassy. Now let's come back to the filters. We're going to use a low pass. We're going to turn that on. I'm going to go for a slightly sharper low pass, 18 decibels. And we'll just pull it down and see where it feels right. Pretty cool now. Now it's a bit clicky on the front. Let's come off the attack a bit. Let's increase that release as well. Starting to sound a bit better. Now, there are other percussive elements in here, but what I want to do, rather than putting them all in the same one, is I'm going to duplicate this. I've got the settings, just in case I want to tune them. And I'm going to keep these here, but I'm going to mute them. So I can see what I've put in as a bass line already using the percussion. I'm going to drag this up. Let's unmute that. Let's see if we can find... I actually quite like that sound. It's quite weird. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drop it another 12 decibels. See what that sounds like just by itself. That is cool. I mean, that's super techno. You probably couldn't get more techno than that. So let's find another spot for it, maybe here. Let's see how that interacts with the other one. Absolutely love that. That sounds incredible. Let's go one more time. Let's duplicate it. Let's see if we can find one more percussion to fill the space. Showing you guys. Oh, sorry, we'll leave that there. We'll just mute it again, so we see where the we see the rhythms that we've already put in, so we can work around those rhythms. Now I think I'm gonna try just bring this back up. -12. I'm showing you. Yeah, I was about to say I'm showing you all the secrets, how to make those cool bass lines. Let's open that for a second. That's kind of cool. Maybe have that small. Let's try an octave down. It's too low. So see what other options they have. Maybe this one. That's pretty cool. It's just a bit loud, so let's pull down the volume here. Let's have that again there. Or actually, maybe it's here. Let's try a different sound. Although I kind of like that one, but there you go. Loving that. Now let's group them all together. Let's treat them like one bass line, of course, bass. And I would really approach it in exactly the same way I did with the kick. So start with an EQ. Let's take out some more of those high kind of clicky frequencies. I'm going to compress it. I'm going to use a different compressor. You will have a version of this in Ableton, if you guys are Ableton users. I know a lot of people are. I think it's called the glue. You'll notice if you open up your compressor, the glue in Ableton now, and look at it compared to this one, it's pretty much exactly the same on the settings, so it will be quite familiar. So let's try and get this. Just want to compress it a little bit so I get. I don't want some of the notes to be much louder than the others. I want them to kind of feel all the same, but a bit of dynamic, a bit of volume change will be nice. Great, and then the other thing we need is just a bit of sidechain. So I love this Nicky Romero. I mean, I highly recommend you get this plugin, guys. It's like €15 or $15. It's so cheap, and it makes sidechaining just so much easier. This is the dip in the volume that's occurring on the sound that you place the effect. So just gives it a bit of pump. Let's set it with a kick. Let's hear it with some drums. Maybe not those. There you go, guys. I think you're going to love that one.
Remember, at Sample Tools by CR2, we also offer a mix and mastering service. Just head over to www.sampletoolsbycr2.com, click on the mastering tab, and you'll find our range of services there.